right, welcome back. It's another Saturday afternoon. I've been putting out videos every Saturday, and this week I'm starting with a new song. So hopefully everyone's checked out my last video on how to play Southern rock, country rock styles. I think there's 4 videos in that series. If people have questions, I can make some more videos for that. I got a lot of comments on the first video, and so I talked about some things, some music theory and stuff, and so if anybody ever has any questions, post some comments and I will see if I can make some videos to answer those questions. So today I'm going to start with something new. I'm going to start with learning how to play a Latin blues in the style of Carlos Santana. The most famous Latin blues that I know of with Carlos Santana is Black Magic Woman. And Black Magic Woman was actually written by Peter Green, the guitar player from Fleetwood Mac. That Carlos Santana loved the Peter Green's version, and he covered it. And whenever he covered it, he added the Latin percussion section that's always associated with Santana's bands, and so that's one of the most common Latin blues that we're referred to. So it's what's called a 12-bar blues because the basic pattern for the song, which we're going to call the form, that's what usually we'll say, it's 12 measures long. The 12 measures, though, it's slightly different than a standard 12-bar blues. It's unique to this Latin blues format. 2 measures of D minor, 2 measures of A minor, 2 measures of D minor, 2 measures of G minor, D minor, A minor, D minor, and then there's D minor in the last measure, and it only hits on beat 1, and then there's a rest for 3 beats. So we play this in what I call my music lab, where some of my students, we get together and we play songs that we've been working on. It gives people a chance to actually try to play some solos with having a real rhythm section. And this is a great song for us to play because the chords, they come from the D minor scale. We call that diatonic to the key of D minor. And what that means is the 3 chords in the song, D minor, A minor, and G minor, that the notes that make those chords come just out of the D minor scale. So diatonic to the key of D minor. One thing I want to mention before we get too far into it is if you check out Santana's version, which is great, it's really, really great. But if you're checking out Santana's version, you might notice that it has an intro at the beginning. So there's an intro that does not follow this form. I think that they are improvising. Raise my seat. I think that they are in the studio. I think they're improvising in the studio, and it's mostly over D minor, and then whenever they transition from the intro to the actual verse of the song, they throw a couple of G minors in. We're not gonna explore that right now. Sometime later, if somebody actually has questions or wants to learn the actual Black Magic Woman song by Santana, we can talk about that. But what I'm interested in is using this as a vehicle to learn how to play. I'm not talking about copying other people's licks or copying Santana's licks, even though we're going to check out Santana for some inspiration. We're going to try to get into the tools that Santana uses that helps him make such great lines. So I'm gonna back up. I'm gonna swing back around. There's 3 parts to this song. There's an introduction. It has a guitar solo, and then it transitions into the verse, which starts off as a guitar solo. Then the singer comes in. I think the keyboard player is the singer. The singer comes in. He sings the verses of the song. Santana plays a couple of solos. And then at the end of the song, there's a psychedelic blues section. It's super exciting. It's called, on my record, it's called Gypsy Queen. So it actually has a separate name. And it switches It loosely is more D bluesy. It's got some D major chords. So we're not going to play the end, and we're not going to play the intro. We're only going to concentrate on the verse, which is the 12 measure form, at least for now. If people post a bunch of comments that they want to do those other sections, we can get into that. All right, I'm back. I had to switch up my guitar sound. So the first thing that we're going to do to get into playing this is we need to learn how to play the rhythm guitar parts on this. Not extensively, just the basic structure of it. So the reason why is that on a song like this, that it's important that you know where the chord changes are, and especially if you want to play a solo that tells a good story, that you follow the chord changes. So what we have is we have this, and I'm going to, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to start out, and there's 3 chords in this song. It's a D chord, an A chord, and a G chord. So just like I do in all my videos, I'm going to start out and I'm going to find these 3 notes. So I'm going to use my tool that I have back here. You can't see it, but it's the chromatic circle, and this is the E string. So I'm looking for D. So if I start on E and I count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, D is going to be the 10th fret. If I go back and I count 5, count A, I'm going to end up E, F, F sharp, G, G sharp, A. It's going to be the 5th fret. And if I start on E and I'm looking for G, it's going to be 1, 2, 3. That's going to be G. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to play the root notes of these chords. D is at fret 10. A is at fret 5. And G is at fret 3. So I'm going to start, and I'm only going to play the roots of the chords. I am going to play the full chords, but not yet. I'm going to start with just playing the roots. Here I go. 2 measures of D minor. 3, 4. 2, A minor. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, D. Now I'm only playing 1 string, just playing the root. G. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3. D minor. 2, A minor. 2, 3, 4. D minor, and then the last time. 2, 3, again. D, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4, A. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, D minor. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, G minor. 2, 3, 4. 2, D minor. 2. Okay, so now we're going to go back and we're going to play the full chord. So I'm going to use what's frequently called a form 1 bar chord. And this is going to be a D minor chord. It's at the 10th fret. And so the root of this chord is on the 6th string. If you think of your open chords, if you think of an E chord is 0, 2, 2, 1, 0, 0. This is E major. It's E major. I'm going to lift up my index finger, so I'm going to play string 6 open, 2nd fret, 0, 0, 0. So it's going to be E minor. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this chord and I'm going to make it a bar chord. So if I wanted to play this chord at the 10th fret, I would need to add 10 frets. I'm sorry, 10. I'd need to add 10 to each number of the string. So string 6 is 0. So if I add 10, that's going to be the 10th fret. String 5 is 2. String 4 is 2. So those are both going to be 12. And And then these strings 3 is open, string 2 is open, string 1 is open. So if I had 10, it'll be 10, 10, 10. So the chord down here is going to be 10, 12, 12, 10, 10, 10. So it'll sound. And that's the chord. That's D minor, and that's the chord that we're going to use for the first chord in Black Magic Woman. The second chord is A minor. So I'm going to take this chord shape and I'm going to move this down to the 5th fret. So it'll be 5, 7, 7, 5, 5, 5. And this is called the grand bar, B-A-R-R-E. People call this a bar chord. B-A-R-R-E is a French word and it means to press. So the grand bar, I'm going to press all 6 strings. And then the last chord in this song is G minor. It's at the 3rd fret. We just finished playing the roots. So I'm going to play D minor, A minor, G minor, and now I'm going to do it in time. I'll do it with the backing track. And one thing I want to mention, that the chord symbols, they show that the chords are D minor, A minor, and G minor. Sometimes whenever I'm playing a gig or I'm talking to somebody, that I'll just say, I'll be playing this song and I'll say D. I'm not saying D, play D major chord. What I'm saying is from the 3 chords that we have to choose from, D minor, A minor, or G minor, I'm saying D, the first letter of the D minor. A lot of times you're thinking about other things, counting the measures, trying to follow the play along, or play with the drummer. So that's the reason why a lot of times that information gets truncated. And I just want to be clear about that because sometimes things are confusing. I've had students bring videos in. I've watched videos myself, and the person playing, they say D, and then I'll think, oh, is that, should we play D major? Are they saying we need to play D major? But I can tell by the sound that the chord is D minor, and so I figured out what they're doing there is they're playing just the D minor chord. So now if you notice, whenever I am doing my accompaniment there, I was doing like this. I was playing on beat 1, I play just the root note of the chord. So I'll play beat 1, the root note of the chord. On beat 2, I'll strum the rest of the chord. So I'll go 1, 2. And then usually on the and of 3, so I can go 1, 2, 3, and you'll notice that I'm going to do an up strum on the and of 3. And sometimes I will put in the and of 4. So I'll go 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. A. 1, 3, and 4. 1, 3, and 4. That there is no rule about when I put the and of 4 in. That typically, if I was playing with a full band, what I would do is I would try to listen to what the other instruments are doing. if I hear that the drummer is hitting on that and of 4, I might want to strum on the and of 4 with the drummer, or the opposite. If there's space left where the and of 4 where nobody's playing on it, I might want to play on the and of 4 to kind of fill in the space. The other thing, which I'm not going to get really into today because I could make a whole video about this, but whenever I start out to strum songs like this, and I'm just working on strumming patterns that what we call the strong beats 1, 2, 3, and 4, I'm going to play those usually with a down strum. So I'll go 1, 2, 3, 4. Those are all going to be down strums. Now, every time I do a down strum, I have to lift my hand back up to prepare for the next down strum. So it's pretty common that if I want to play in between the down strums, which those notes we usually write as an and. So I would go 1 and 2 and. Whenever I'm playing on the and, which is the 8th note that's in between the down strums, I will just, instead of lifting my pick up, I'll just leave my pick so it touches the strings, and then I'll do an up strum. Now, I realize that I just threw out a whole bunch of information. I have not explained how to count quarter notes and 8th notes, triplets, 16th notes, but I just wanted to touch a little bit about doing down and up strums and why I chose to do the down and the up strums that I did. It follows a pretty standard strumming pattern. If you've watched any of my other videos, if people have questions about this, leave me some comments. I will try to do a separate video where I explain that if necessary. So I'm gonna try to keep this video not crazy long. I know some of my other videos are an hour or more, but the first thing that I wanted to touch on was just the I wanted to touch on just the chords for the rhythm. And so I'm going to play those one more time, take us out. All right, I forgot to say it. Like and subscribe. I'm still making these videos. My only technology is my phone. So hopefully everybody is hanging in there. I've started to see some people watching. I'm hoping I can get enough subscribers that that I can monetize my account, and then I can buy some better equipment. Better equipment is maybe a camera with a camera and a microphone. So or a camera with a microphone, or maybe 2 cameras. Yeah, so I got tons and tons of, I've been teaching guitar lessons for years, that I have tons of great lessons, great lesson plans, and I have lots of great students that I really like. But if you want to take some lessons, or you want to be a student, I have 2 locations where I teach in the Cincinnati area, and I do online classes. So hit me up. All right, thanks.